Welcome to the Hobbyist Audio Mix Series. Alright, welcome to Hobbyist Audio. I'm Alex. Today's video is talking about processing guitar DI tracks for use specifically with amp sims. So if you're like me, I like to record high gain guitars from time to time, and I like to use amp sims because it's quiet and the people around me need to sleep sometimes. So if you're like me, you've heard this time and time again. And it's persistent throughout the audio whenever the guitar track comes in. You guys heard the going in the audio. All of this junk right here, you still hear it. And it's irritating and it's infuriating. So originally, I was going to see what I could do about using a DI box versus using plug straight into my interface. So here's a DI box. It's a Radial ProDI passive DI box. The ground lift is not engaged on this track. It is engaged on this track. And let's see if I can just loop that section real quick. So you can hear that the noise level drops ever so slightly. It is an improvement, not a huge improvement, but let's see how it compares to just plug straight into my interface, which is a Steinberg UR28M little desktop interface. So you can hear that the DI box is both instances are much better than just using the interface DI. To you got to make the choice: is it worth spending $100 on an external DI just to make this sound more like this? To me, it is, because DI boxes are worth their weight in gold. But never mind that. Let's start processing some audio. So right here, first thing, I have a frequency analyzer. Now I've already set some presets right there, but I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to activate this high band. And looky that. So much noise just went away. Alright, but let's see how that affects my actual audio. To me, that seemed, I mean, the tone between the amp sim and with the high pass filter, I'm sorry, the low pass filter on and off was pretty negligible. Let's listen one more time. It's a hair duller, but all of that nasty high frequency noise is much less significant. One more time. Okay, so I like the direction that's heading. So I'm going to turn that on, and I'm going to leave that on. These guitar tones still are kind of junky tones, so this TSE booster pedal, whatever, it's just a tube screamer simulator. Makes it have a little extra bite, but whenever I listen here, gives me much more noise. So now I throw on a gate. I can set the threshold pretty low. I'm at negative 42 dB, whatever. I just kind of dialed it in. I didn't dial out the range to negative infinity like that. If I did, I'd get this. Absolute silence. Absolute silence. Absolute silence. And it's so beautiful. Now, in between those chunky chunks, you still hear noise, and that's still irritating. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was. So I'm going to turn that back up to whatever it was at. And you can hear a very, very slight noise floor. And I'm okay with that. And I've adjusted the hold and release settings so the gate doesn't have just a hard shut off. And then I do some extra additional tone shaping. And I still hear no noise. And I have a pretty decent tone now. So I'm going to turn those two off. I just did some basic EQing and filtering on those to tighten them up. And that's it. So I'm going to apply that to these other two tracks. I'm going to pan those hard left, hard right. Don't really need to solo those. And I need to turn these guys down a little bit because I have some junky drums programmed in there. Let's start from the very beginning. Very, very little noise. Cool. So this is without all that processing. Awful, 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 terrible, terrible, terrible. And with. I don't hear anything. I hear a slight hum. I guess I could take my gate down a little bit. And that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this tip. I'm Alex, and this is Hobbyist Audio.